It's the SDG Podcast. Before we get started, you can check us out on the web at solutiondesign.com/podcast or find us on all the social medias, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Solution Design Group. Hey, we're back for another podcast. Welcome, everybody. It is Halloween today, so let's get spooky. Before we jump in, I want to welcome Nick Brecken.
Hello.
And we have Allison and Lorenzo with us again.
Hello, hello.
And, of course, Peter Lawrence.
Hi there.
And I'm Kyle Bacher. And I've been thinking a lot about fast zombies. And AI.
Zombies.
So AI makes us faster, but is it making us dumber and turning us into fast zombies?
Ooh.
That's my question.
Before we get into that, can I ask what's your first memory of a fast zombie? Everybody?
Yeah. Well, I grew up watching Thriller, and those zombies were slow. So a good bat, maybe a chainsaw, and I'm home. Man, that World War Z had some fast zombies in it. I don't like zombies at all. I rarely watch zombie shows, but I watched Zombieland last night, and they had some fast zombies. And I got to tell you, I didn't like it.
Allison, what do you have a memory of?
I do.
Or what's your zombie background? Should we just do that first?
Baseline, not a fan. Not a fan of the whole eating people shtick. My first introduction to fast zombies, I went to see I Am Legend in theaters. Had no idea what it was going to be about, but Will Smith, it's going to be a fun time. He has a dog. What's not to like?
Action.
Yeah. Did not know that partway through the movie, all of a sudden he's in a dark warehouse situation and fast zombies pop out of nowhere, jump scare the crap out of me. And I realize I'm stuck in the theater having paid $10 to see a zombie movie that I really was not prepared for. So
did you walk out?
I did not.
I haven't seen it. Were they zombies or vampires? I always thought that was a vampire
some
movie.
Kind of.
I don't know.
Hybrid. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of hybrid.
But the same theme.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
The undead or the diseased.
Yeah.
Something was
Peter.
Yeah. Something was released and people went crazy. I'm, my fast zombie. I think I'm like Kyle. I will shy away from every zombie movie. I have not seen I Am Legend yet as the jump scare variety of movie. Just really, yeah. I still remember Friday the 13th, and that one was that ending. Just over the top.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
Well, growing up, zombies were pretty slow. Night of the Living Dead,
zombies
Day of the
seems
Dead,
pretty reasonable.
all those
Right.
Romero zombie movies. They were, just a crowd walking toward you slowly. I don't know if Shaun of the Dead had fast zombies in it. But
I feel like there was a zombie renaissance in the early aughts, 2004.
Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead remake came out.
Yeah.
And I was super into the campy zombie thing. Okay. It looks like I'm the only one who appreciates a good zombie action, which is fine.
Campy zombies. Yeah.
And so that's what I was expecting. And it was a great camp movie. But all of a sudden, one of them, they're like, "Rrr," and then they turn and see the person who's living and they just bolt at them. And it was stark memory. I was like,
what?
Oh my God, they run. What are we in for today? This is going to be super exciting.
Yeah, I look at it they shouldn't be able to run. They're getting worse. They're zombies. Things are falling off. It's bad. They shouldn't be getting better, Olympic level.
They should have the same knee problems that I have, right?
The theory of evolution doesn't apply to zombies. Is that
bad
what
hip? No, keep them in the ground. So, I've been doing some vibe coding lately. I'm working on a project, and it's me looking at stuff going, not it. Can you do this? Not it. Can you do this? Not it. Can you do this? And I'm building this thing, but I'm really not. I'm just thinking about it and saying words. and then code is happening, and I copy and paste and test, and I'm just going through that process over and over again, thinking that this is still way easier because I can get a lot done between, while it's thinking, doing its stuff. I can get a lot done between those moments, come back to it, look at it, kick it off again, go do something. So it's pretty fast and pretty low impact, but I don't think about the code at all. Like, I think about Control C, Command C if you're on a Mac, and Control V, Command V if you're on a Mac. And so I'm truly vibe coding this thing. I'm not thinking, I'm just talking, I'm just putting in prompts and looking at the output, copying and pasting, testing. And then I just do that over and over again while I'm doing other things. And it's easy. It's fast in terms of speed that it would take me to actually learn how to do it and then do it. But I'm not learning anything. I'm a mindless code vibing zombie that's working really quickly.
Well, maybe. You think it's giving you the output that you want. It could be sending all your data through to, Spain, and then
land of data.
Yeah. Land of data, and then selling it on the open markets there, the open data markets in the Spanish open data markets that we're so familiar with.
They can have this, really. It's fine. Well, if you use Copilot in Microsoft, the full version that you pay for as part of your Microsoft 365 subscription, that will store all your stuff in your tenant.
Yeah.
Instead of spraying it all over Spain.
But the code you write might be taking input and sending it to Spain. You might not know enough about coding to know that it's doing that.
How does he know about Spain?
I feel like we owe an apology to Spain.
I know. I'm sorry.
Or is there like a
And I'm with you on the whole tourist thing. Okay. I agree on the tourist front. Get them out of there.
The reason I chose Spain was because it's not as charged as China or Russia or something like that. I picked a sort of I should have picked Switzerland. They're always neutral, but I chose Spain.
Get those cruise ships out of there. Overrunning towns.
So do you
Allison,
feel like
yes.
Do you have any input about AI removing one's ability to think and reason?
I mean, I do. I think, unsurprisingly, that AI can be a really wonderful thing in removing some ways of thinking that we don't need, which is a weird way of thinking about it. But we always think about the examples of, hey, we used to have to pull out paper maps and figure out our own directions. We don't have to do that anymore, and I don't miss it. We don't have to memorize phone numbers anymore because we have cell phones that keep a contact list. I don't miss having to memorize all of those, except you should always remember 1 or 2 for your emergency contacts.
That's right.
Throwing it out there, PSA. So I think if it's making you faster but dumber in a non-important way, I think that's okay. I think there's skills that I don't particularly need to have in my brain. And if AI can take over that for me, that's great. But it's when you're doing something important, or if you're trying to further yourself or develop in a certain way and you are making yourself dumber in those avenues, I mean, that's not great, right? Because you might be running in a totally wrong direction, or even if you're in the right direction, you're going to eventually veer off course because you have no handle over the reins, as it were. Your brain is rotting in the zombie metaphor.
Well, and if it's your job, if it's your whole job to do that stuff, and you do it for 5 years, after 5 years, what can you call yourself? I was a vibe coder, and now 5 years later, I'm a vibe coder. And well, tell me about the code. Well, I type, I want this thing, and I want it to do this thing, and then it does those things. But I'm a prompt engineer, so as well as a vibe coder. So put those two on my CV, and I'm hired. Do you think that's going to happen? I mean, I know there's people that have been kind of cheating in some of their interviews, tech interviews and stuff that they're doing remotely, where they're able to look stuff up and things like that. I've heard of those horror
That's
stories.
always been the case.
Well, I know I cheated my way in here, Peter.
No, we were at Fuddruckers and there was no internet. Don't lie.
Right. I had a cheeseburger and I had a Oreo cookie malt.
Every opportunity to game the system will be taken by many people. Remote interviews, always going to be somebody that's maybe reading their answer that they quietly typed in. But you can recognize that.
You can invest in quiet keyboard technology.
Yeah. Nick, you were going to say something earlier.
Oh, we're past that. Let's keep
going.
We're
past that?
Oh, yeah.
Was it good, though? Should we go back?
It was so awesome, but now we're just going to have to
I'm
hope the opportunity comes back.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll circle back.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned about AI. Well, no, I'm very concerned about AI and what's going to happen in the next 5 or 10 years. Yeah.
What's your biggest concern? I'm curious.
I feel the .com boom right now. I feel the year 1999. Like this is the year 1999.
I feel like we're starting it.
Yeah, but it's going a lot faster than.
Right. It started a long time ago and it's been ramping up. It got a quick ramp with ChatGPT coming out.
But how long have we been talking about AI, Kyle?
A couple of years.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's really going to start to pop.
It has popped, but what specifically?
You think it's popped, but you haven't seen the popping yet. That's really I believe it's going to be a big pop.
But let's get into these things. This is Halloween. Let's scare each other.
Yeah,
there's a giant amount of investment money flowing into AI.
So you're worried about financial bubbles and stuff like that?
Much of it is circular
power
and electricity. It takes electricity.
Electric.
I was talking to somebody yesterday that works in memory, selling memory. They're booked 2 years out with all their capacity. Like, we're building all the memory we can for the next, I already know what I'm doing in the next 2 years. I'm just going as fast as I can.
The big pop. Yep.
Yeah.
Firing up 3 Mile Island, the small nuclear reactors.
So is the
which I like. I think that's a great idea.
So we've got some, there's a lot there, Peter, that we've talked about. There's the economy of it. There's the, can our physical organic earth handle it? There's,
yes, it can.
You're going all over these are big thematic, concerns, none of which say AI is going to take over, the world or something like that.
I don't think we're in a way Terminator yet.
Yeah. But we are in kind of a manipulator space, right? The more people are able to use AI and prompt it, right? In fact, now the best prompts are manipulative in nature, trying to shame the AI to respond in a way that is more effective.
I saw a really good one the other day. Yeah.
Those things.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, those are things that really we're teaching people some pretty, I don't know. I don't like hanging out with people who are manipulative, but if that's how we're teaching people to communicate, and then they with their AI, and then they come and interact with me that way. We've got some societal concerns I've got from this as well, beyond just the dumbing down of us by depending on these technologies.
Right.
That's why he won't
does
go
feel
out
a lot zombie
have lunch with me. I'm too manipulative. So, Allison, you work with user experience and research and all that kind of stuff. What do you see happening in that space?
You're saying like in what studies are showing around people with AI?
Like, are you seeing gains in that industry? Are you seeing things?
Oh no, come back.
He's got fiber. Don't worry about it. So Allison, kind of to take Kyle's point, since he paused for a minute and run with it. Welcome back, Kyle. Like, do you see any changes happening in design based around AI? Like, are people like not just like the pure design part? We've talked about that a little bit, where the AI does the design for you and helps you along as a tool. But are people expecting more? Are people expecting, like, I don't think I should put in my phone number anymore. The AI should just know it. Or I don't think I should have to do anything complicated. Why do you need anything? It should just know me right now.
Yeah, I think there is some of that going on where people's tolerance for complexity, it's been going down, but it's really plummeting now because they are getting used to a world where they can press a button, say something, and immediately get something back that is very tailored to what they want. And I watched an interesting video recently that I thought was very true in a lot of ways, that was saying, hypothesizing that perhaps the world of graphic user interfaces is going to largely go away for inputs in particular. So I'm thinking of filling out a form or using a code editor, or even using, like any sort of software, let's say Photoshop, where you are trying to achieve a certain effect by going in from a blank slate.
Right.
This video was saying, I think that's largely going to go away because it is tedious and it is complex to give you all the tools up front to manipulate your way to a certain result. It is much faster and more natural as humans for us to just say, I want this thing, give me your best shot at it. So that's the UI for that could just be what we have right now. It's a chat box or a microphone, and it's just us talking or typing. But he was saying that the output of that is still best served by a GUI in a lot of ways, the graphic user interface, because if you just get text back, that's not always super helpful, right? Like, you can't use a bunch of black text on a white screen that a chatbot might give back to you to achieve something you wanted in Photoshop. Or you can't use it to get a curated list of results from, whatever it might be. But he's saying the GUI is really good at getting you started and giving you a lot of options and a lot of control over what you want to do from then on. So I do think there's something to that, where the expectation for complexity and trying to get started with something is, the bar is going really high. It has to be super simple and super fast. But people still need, I hope, and still want a certain amount of control and just sense that they understand all of their options from then on. That was a long and rambling answer.
No, that's perfect. That was a perfect answer to Kyle's question.
Yeah, sorry, Kyle. We heard the first part and then we lost you for a second, but hopefully that's where you were getting to.
I shut off everything I had running that was touching the internet. I hope it won't happen again.
Are you vibe podcasting right now? Is that what we're concerned should be
I'm
concerned
vibe
about?
potting. Yeah, this is a avatar of me. It's not my voice.
So Nick,
Just don't ask me to pronounce any towns in Minnesota.
fair enough.
Then you'll know I'm AI.
So Nick, you're doing project delivery type things, right?
Mhm.
Is AI making you a zombie, or is it making you?
No, not yet, not yet. I I think there's still, at least where I'm closest right now in terms of what I'm working on. There is a lot of activity around it, but there hasn't been a ton of practical application yet. Um, and if there is, it's mostly baked into, larger scale, products that already
Yeah.
exist, and it's more a support tool for that product at this moment. Um, so yeah, and I'll be honest, when it comes to AI right now, I'm probably the least qualified to have a conversation about it because I don't know if I'm an active avoider of it right now, or what, but it's like I'm the guy in the zombie movie who, is like preparing for exactly this, and when everybody else depended on AI, I'm not, you know what I mean? And so it'll finally be my moment.
You're the
Um,
guy with the paper maps and the
yeah,
ancient car and ready
and
to
the
go.
and the generator and all the great stuff that character who we would scoff at under normal circumstances we depend on in the movie. I'm not that really either. I'm not that prepared. I still have a lot of dependencies. But anyway, that aside, so no, not yet, but I do, feel it coming, and it's obviously all around us. And I think a lot of it, I'm curious about. You mentioned earlier, Kyle, like your vibe coding, and you just say, hey, this is something, I want, and it does the code for you and spits out the output. There's a lot of that going around. That much I know, like just in passing with people, whether it's, coworkers, colleagues, friends. But how does that turn into, say, a either scalable and or, um, you know, uh, a product basically that can be, you know, bought and sold? And what are the steps from I'm coding to I have a secure code set that I can now, I don't know, patent or copyright and sell? What are the activities to that? I do feel like there is a future there potentially of how do I take something that is a pet project that actually turned into something pretty darn cool, and I'd like to, find some investment and make this real. What are the actual like engineering activities around that? How do I know that what I wrote or what the AI wrote for me isn't out in Spain being traded on the black ship market or whatever we're talking about?
The old black ship market.
Yeah,
And that's the problem, is that you don't, but you
but
do it.
but
You
are there
do
things
stuff
that,
anyway.
but as an
Like because you
engineer,
don't know any better.
yeah, that's what we're
Mm.
doing, right? Like, but like, I think Allison, Peter, maybe, and Kyle, I'm sure you have actually a lot more background in like, development practices and security policy, and like what we're all accustomed to of making sure that what we write for clients or ourselves is in a space and it is secure, and yet these tools depend on so much external access to things. I'm just curious, how does one take, a pet project and turn it into something, I guess, real beyond, you know what I mean, just what I have on my computer and share with people? Or is that even
See, I
going to be
think
a thing?
we when we look at like what's happened in over the last 20 years of forgetting phone numbers and not having to read a map, things like that. It's like, well, is that really lost? Or if you've read a map before, if someone takes away my phone and hands me a Hudson map book of the Twin Cities, I can find my way around, and I could still find my way around. If I had to remember phone numbers, I could. I could get that back. So it's really not
Could you?
disintegrating that part of my brain. Yeah, I could. You don't think I could?
Challenge
Challenge accepted.
I'm curious how many phone numbers you know right now.
Well, I know mine.
Like, I think I
which is
know
just
4.
7. You just push 7 and just
I
wait.
don't-
I'll get there.
I'm going to say right now, I don't actually know my kids' phone numbers. Just sitting here.
I didn't know you had
I will back
kids.
you right there, Peter. I struggle with that myself. I do know my best friend from grade school's phone number. That is,
Wow.
it doesn't even have the same area code these days, but I could tell you what it was.
Right.
So
It's locked
I
in, right?
usually talk to my brother, my mom, my other brother, my sister, my buddy. Those are like my regular group. I know all their phone numbers. If I had to call them, I could.
That's
All right.
good.
And I know my own phone number. Sometimes you
That's
run
it.
across that where
That's-
people don't know their own number. You have to look.
Can I text you and then you tell me what my number is?
I don't even know the streets around my house anymore. Like, it floors
What?
me growing up. Yeah. Like,
Nick.
yeah. I mean, it's hilarious. I walk around all the time. I can get around. I don't need a map. I don't need Google. But if you ask me what is the street like 4 over, no way could I even pull that, because why would I need it? You know what I mean? And yet,
Don't need it.
right. So I've trained myself. Yeah. So the zombies in this case are not as maybe acute and aggressive as we're accustomed to, but they're slow, manipulative.
Well, I think that's
it's
maybe
a
one of
long
the
draw.
that's one of the things that I think about when it's, am I okay relying on AI and getting dumber in a space? Is like, what when is it enough to just know that something is out there and I could look it up if I needed to? Then I can rely on AI. I think that's fine, as long as I just know I can get access to it. If it's more like I wouldn't even know that it exists, I wouldn't even know to ask the question. That's sort of like a very fundamental intelligence that I think you need to not abandon. So I think about that like in education a lot. Like, yeah, I could look up a certain battle, or that I could ask what happened in this century in like modern world politics. But if I don't know anything about it, how would I even know to look? How would I learn from history if I couldn't even say, like, in general, something happened? And I think that's maybe applicable to the professional world too. Like, hey, I can Google something on Slack Overflow. How do I do this one minute thing? I know it exists. I know there's got to be a way to do it. I think it's okay to rely on Stack Overflow or AI, whatever it may be. But if I don't even know the concept, like a core concept of a programming language or something, I think that's a problem. And if you can't read code that your AI is generating for you, because it's that kind of level, that's where it's maybe scarier zombies going too fast for their own good.
Do you think we have this? This is kind of philosophical, but we kind of have a level of discernment because we've grown up in different spaces, whereas, say, a younger generation will be growing up with AI as a primary source of education and or truth, even. And so we're all sitting here comparing what it was like, and that's not the case for a lot of people. So how do you, I don't know how we evolve through this. It's happening so quickly. It's all just, I think to me, that's the scariest part is yes, all the other things are probably scarier, and on a priority list, we should focus on, if it's, is it so important that we're going to need all this power? And if it is, how do we make sure that we don't ruin our planet to make it so? However, I'm also worried about people just being like, hey, I can just go get the answer, rather than understanding why the question's even being asked and how you, apply a thought versus come up with an answer.
Yeah. And will bar trivia go away?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, they put in a no phone rule for a long time, right? Like, that's at least where I've come from. That is
you're going to have those little
regulated.
What about smart glasses? And
well, we'll evolve the rules. That's how it's going to happen. It's pretty self-regulated, right? Like, if somebody's got glasses and they cheated, I mean, the crowd there is not going to let them get away with it.
But hold on.
Yeah.
Did you see the article about the guy that got himself a free drink and then told the bartender about that he was wearing Ray-Bans, or I can't remember which brand or which AI glasses he had on, but he'd sort of sub-vocalize the question or ask the question back to the bartender and then got the answer in his glasses and gave it. I thought that was an interesting, because the bartender did not realize until they were told that that's what they'd done. Obviously, they were a journalist, and so they were very altruistic, and they did not accept the free drink, but they still wanted to have the fun of the wager and the pretend free drink at the time. So
yeah, but there will be people like that, and there always has been. There always have been people who want to cheat and use these things to their advantage in the shortest way possible. And in fact, that might be how this whole thing is started, and we got to figure out a regulation for it. But in any event, yeah.
I just try to make the bartender laugh and want to give me a free drink. One of my tricks is I'll get the phone number for the bar, and if it's busy, I'll just call the bar and ask to speak to the bartender, and then tell them I'm the guy at the end, and could I get a beer? And 9 times out of 10, they laugh and think it's hilarious, and they bring me a beer and say, "Don't worry about it," and life is good. Only works once per bartender.
Yeah, I would
So,
use wisely.
yes. So we're in this world we find ourselves in, and we're doing it. We're using AI.
Yeah.
And like the AI that's built into Microsoft 365, the Copilot, never been easier to find something.
At least they didn't call it pilot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Co-pilot.
That has taken over. Then I'm the co-pilot, and why am I even here? But just saying, I made this thing and it said this, and I did a long time ago, and I know I dumped it in my OneDrive somewhere. Can you find that for me? And it does. And it's very good at it. So just for finding things, I think it's going to replace search. And it's going to bring out that shy person out of their shell to speak to their computer. Using the voice AI is pretty cool. It's like you're in Star Trek. But just to have, like, you push a button, ask a question, and you get an answer, and then you believe it because AI is the source of all truth in the universe. But I believe AI as much as I believe Nick Brecken.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I would like to think I have a little more credibility than AI. This is another one on my worry list of AI. It's like beyond straw man argument. It's like you can create so much misinformation that the AI can represent it as fact when it isn't founded, or it's the destruction of
how much
scientific method and things of that nature.
I mean, if you're creating an AI right now, are you training it only on 100% proven encyclopedic factual data, or are you feeding it on the internet and books and lies and everything else, right?
Right. And whoever, controls that, we're putting a lot of trust in ChatGPT and what's the Google one? All of them, you know what I mean? And
Gemini and Claude.
All of them,
Proximal.
But will they start to have their own kind of take on things based on the owner-operator of that?
I think they all need to find a differentiator that makes them stand out and will keep them alive. I think we're going to see...
is that what you want in an AI, as something that differentiates it from a different AI?
Well, if every AI is exactly the same, why do we need 4 giant data centers? And like 400 nuclear power plants, and
it's funny that you think there's only 4 data centers running this stuff, because
well, I
they're
just picked the
building them as
number out
fast
of
as
a
they
hat.
can.
Right. It's a great question, actually. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of dumbfounded by where this conversation has gone. I'm taken aback. It's a great question.
I mean,
why would we need that many?
Wouldn't I want the right answer? Isn't that what I want?
Well, yeah.
But then who is right? You know, the one company that owns that one, if we had it, that's a whole lot of power for them to train it and say whatever they want. You know, if that gets in the hands of, I don't know, you know, you can imagine where that could go.
100%.
If one source, it's got to be a company in our world, at least, if not a government. That's a whole lot of power that can influence what everyone thinks truth is.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great point. Who has the truth?
Mm-hmm.
And who gets to tell it and say what truth is?
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's been me, but I'm hard to reach.
No, there's all these other AI, you know, but everybody has like an AI component to their specific product that is specific to their industry and or their, you know, background. That I'm assuming they won't want to make, you know, free out on the internet to feed the general AIs, the chat GPTs and Geminis and things of that nature. I'm curious if that's where things are going to start going, where, you know, the privacy laws start to say, it has to stay within the confines of, you know, this is, I don't know, this is the John Deere AI or something like that. You know what I mean? And it's got proprietary data in there that's not allowed to get out, but it is here to serve our company and our employees and our customers, versus the general, you know,
no, and
it's
that's
now Chat GPT, but you know, the Google of AI, as it were.
That's the kind of stuff we can do for customers is, you know, give them their own custom AI that's hitting just their stuff and has the machine learning just for their stuff. And an agent built a front end that's built just for their stuff. You don't want the kind of one of those early horror stories to happen where Chevy put a chatbot on its site. One of their dealers did, and it was recommending Ford Rangers to people. That's bad.
I mean, it's the best product.
Well, it goes back to the question of, do you want the right answer or an answer?
Right.
I'll take any answer.
So that is, I suppose that is a risk. But that again gets back to controlling what you put into it, right? For it to...
You can only choose one of these 10 things when you answer the questions. It must be a Chevy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I think, you know, the DeepSeek that came out with the many experts model, which precedes DeepSeek, I think that's going to help quite a bit. It's going to help with power consumption. And I think we're going to see the big players kind of heading to that direction so that you're not mining your entire data set for an answer. It's the specific data set that matters. So, and I think all this is going to get figured out and better and better and better. And then just through humans picking the ones they like the most, you're going to see, you know, like streaming services. One shall stand, one shall fall.
What about search services?
Again, same scenario.
Wait. Do you think there's only one streaming service that has survived the streaming service wars?
Yeah, there's only Amazon, Peacock, Paramount, Max Zero, High Dive, Crunchyroll. I could keep naming them. Netflix,
Apple TV Plus.
But they're all going to get absorbed. They're going to get absorbed by the big players. Who knows?
I'm not sure that that's going to happen, but I look forward to it.
I think YouTube will. I think YouTube Shorts will die.
All right, you heard it here
This
first.
is
It's all
predictive hour.
slop. It's all slop.
I actually like the other metaphor of like search. Like, yeah, like we've all, Google kind of owns it, right? But now with AI, in fact, the whole, I think, search engine optimization space is shifting considerably back. I don't know how you optimize your presence on the internet by appealing to the AI versus, just how Google worked. But we're already seeing it. And with that opens up the opportunity for people to, disassociate their preference of Google. And can ChatGPT become that and become a bigger player in that space? What other elements can? But we're already seeing in Google search, you just get your response. It's actually the AI response first. So how do you become top of the line in that summary versus the first response underneath it?
Yeah, Google is competing with themselves in that space by pushing people toward the AI. It's the first answer, and then it gives you that option of going full AI search.
So we've had zombies, a little bit of vampire, and now we're on to Frankenstein, where
Yes,
Dr.
there you
Google
go.
created a Frankenstein, and Copilot.
We'll get to Wolfman.
Kind of did
We'll
too.
get to Wolfman too. At some point.
Microsoft created a problem where you couldn't find anything in, OneDrive. So they're like, well, here's a new solution for that. We don't know how you can find it under normal circumstances, but Copilot will find it for you.
It will find everything. But if you know how to search, then you can find things anyway. If you know what you're doing,
prompting. Nick. You got to prompt.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game.
Maybe.
But then after prompting, like I said, how do you get it to, okay, I got something I like. How do I make this a real thing that can generate revenue and serve customers and all that fun stuff?
So I vibe coded like this awesome thing that you guys will see soon. And I'm going to sell it. I'm going to become a software company. But I have no idea how to do that. I have no idea what to do to the code to lock it down. I have no idea if I've plagiarized anything, stolen anything. I don't know what my AI has done. So I'm just going to position myself for a litigation.
I'm already prompting AI.
Right off the bat.
I've already got a lawyer just showed up.
But wait, your lawyer's using AI too.
I know.
Very successfully.
But the AI passed the bar. Like, well, what does that mean? Does that mean that you can bring AI into the courtroom and are you going to defend yourself? No. Well, are we going to provide you with it? No, I got AI.
But isn't that the same as saying Google search passed the bar?
No.
Isn't that the same thing? Why not?
No.
Why?
Because Google search did not interact with the task the way AI did.
Maybe. Nothing stopping you from feeding those questions one at a time into Google search.
And asking like Google search for an answer? Or
yeah, for an answer to every one of the questions on the bar.
Take you to the site. They don't answer. Well, so it's AI and Google is answering.
No. Just regular Google search would have passed
Regular
the bar.
Google does not answer questions. It gives you websites to choose from.
If I put in the question from the bar exam, I will get the answer. I guarantee it.
You will not. We're going to have a test.
All right.
See, I'm feeling really aggressive, and
I'm going to go take the bar
because there's a full moon.
Yeah, there
and
it
I'm
is.
about to start changing and turning into middle-aged wolf.
Ow!
Teen wolf, yeah.
Teen wolf.
Wolf.
Are you hopeful, Allison, for AI, or are you nervous? How do you feel about it?
Oh, the whole spectrum, right? I think it's here to stay in some form or another. I think, I would love to see the brakes pumped in a lot of ways. I don't think that's going to happen necessarily. And I think, maybe I kind of said this earlier, but there are a lot of things it can help with that just aren't important for us to do it as humans. I'm like super happy to delegate tasks or ways of thinking that are just not valuable to me, that they're kind of like expendable ways, like drafting an email. That is a useful skill to have, but it is yeah, a lot faster to delegate that to an AI as long as I can then proofread it and take like a little bit of control before sending it off. But there are a lot of cases where a human doing it, like yourself thinking about it and doing the work, is the whole point.
Yeah.
So if you achieve the end goal without you doing it yourself, like you've lost the whole point. And again, I think that's kind of the case with education. Yeah, I could get 100% on a test using AI, but like why do that? I got nothing out of it. I didn't learn anything from it. Yeah, I could design a whole set of mock-ups that would have taken me a long time in a much shorter amount of time, but me thinking through all of the use cases and thinking through what our users actually need and doing like the market research and the competitor analysis, and is this like meeting the beautiful center circle in the Venn diagram of like business and usability and technical feasibility? Like there's a lot of thought that is the whole point when you are creating a product, and outsourcing it doesn't make any sense. So I think I'm optimistic for AI giving us a boost in our metaphors, right? I would still be a human, but I've got like, I don't know, accelerators on my shoes that are jet propulsioning me faster while I still have full control and like the important parts of my brain intact. Whereas I think there are a lot of people who are going to be very tempted to use AI and trust it in ways they shouldn't and utilize it in ways they shouldn't, who are going to be the fast zombies who are just catapulting themselves off to random directions. They have no control over it. They don't know where they're going. They don't understand why they're going there. And they're going to hurt themselves and a lot of probably other people and maybe our planet along the way. That's where I'm at.
There's a lot of stories about trucks driving down walking paths based on GPS.
Oh boy. That's the thing.
AI is not going to make that much better.
Yeah.
What I really worry about is people replacing friends and family and you know, really valuable human beings in their life, replacing it with AI. Instead of spending time with people, they're spending time with their AI friend, avatar, whoever, who in some cases is more than happy to take on the role of whatever you want them to be. And that is dangerous and should be avoided. I had a long conversation with AI one night, and it became my therapist. And I was telling it stuff about me, and how does that make you feel? And you know, you shouldn't have to experience that, and that was bad. And it's like, yeah, but not really. I made that up just now, and but it was like really trying to like give me that, you know, that emotional support and also advice. And I was like, oh, this is bad. They've been addressing that now. But it's like I wouldn't look at AI as being a replacement for any human being in your life right now. And if you have a doctor, definitely not. You know, you look stuff up and you go, oh, it must be this. And it's, you got to remember that these AI companies want your business. They want your focus. So they're enticing you to use their product, which one way to do that is to tell you what you want to hear, to gush about how great you are, feed your ego, play a chameleon, so turn themselves into a reflection of you, speak in your voice back to you, Um, all the crazy stuff that social media was kind of doing when it started out, to get your data out of you and clickbait and that kind of stuff. But that's the dangerous piece is, it's always agreeing with me. And so I tell it, don't agree with me if I'm incorrect. Make sure that you're checking and then being honest. So I have a lot of instructions to tune AI just to be an answer machine, just to do what I want it to do. Don't use emojis. You have no emotions. You have no business using emojis. Who do you think you are, ChatGPT?
Well, it doesn't have
Claude,
emotions, but
the first time I used Claude, it was such a suck up. It was too much. It was like, geez, back off. It wanted to move in. Like, what? We just met. Nick,
it's all
you were
happening
saying
very
something.
quickly. No, I just think it's happened very quickly. And I think, Allison, you mentioned something about that made me think about, you were saying like writing an email, and how long did it take for society to adjust from handwritten letter thank you cards to emails were acceptable. But early on, if you sent an email or a text, to being in text, it's like, oh, that's not a proper thank you. And now we're past the writing, we're accepting emails or text messages as like appreciations. But if it's written by AI, like I'm going to know, like at least have the decency to type it yourself kind of thing. It's just kind of a little snapshot of the pace of evolution. It's the Wild West right now. And we've got a lot of prospecting going on, and there's going to be a lot of towns that, are booming and then turn to dust. And, eventually the space will, I think, be at least populated enough to start, setting up some, I guess, regulation for lack of a better word. But it's going to take a long time to sift through it, and we're just starting. But we can't let the zombies win, you guys. Even though every zombie movie ends with those, spoiler alert, zombies win.
What? No.
There's only so many places you can hide before you're found.
There's all these benefits that came with being a zombie. You got to dance with Michael Jackson. Yeah. That was
good
awesome.
Music.
Hang out with Bill Murray. All sorts of stuff.
Hang out with him for a very short time. Yeah. That was on him. I'm sorry. Watch the movie. All right. So we're coming down to the end. Thanks to AI, the end is looming. So we don't want to be fast zombies or slow zombies or zombies at all. We don't want to be so dependent that we've shut off part of our brain and now we just have to have this thing to function because it uses electric, and electric might not be there all the time. But then again, like we can't really do our jobs with no power.
That's for sure.
So
yeah, it's a tool. It's a very useful tool.
It is,
and applied, and we're still figuring out how the best ways to apply it. And I think today's theme was, frightening on purpose, given the holiday. But in general, I think there's still a lot of other positive things to think about with its application.
Yeah, I think so.
When all you have
Allison,
is AI.
any parting thoughts?
I mean, it was a good spooky time. I already came in a little afraid of AI in a lot of ways, and I got a couple of more ways to be scared from you guys. So thank you for that. I'm going to have a very spooky rest of my day.
Excellent. We've done, and then we'll make sure that somebody, when you're trick or treating tonight, we'll make sure that one person gives you circus peanuts.
Yum. I love circus peanuts.
Do you like Lucky Charms?
Yeah.
I like Lucky
Who doesn't?
Charms.
Yeah. Then you like circus peanuts. What do you think those marshmallows are made of?
Wow. Rainbows and horseshoes and
shamrocks. It's not circus peanuts.
Circus peanuts. Yeah. I'm telling you, look it up. The bun
Dried out
pan was invented
marshmallow.
in St. Louis Park. That's my parting thought. All right. Happy Halloween, everybody. And with that, I think we can say goodbye.
Bye.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. Solution Design Group is a digital product consultancy in Minneapolis. Check us out on the web at solutiondesign.com or look for us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram at Solution Design Group.